Have you ever gotten to the end of the month and wondered, where did all my money go? It's definitely a frustrating feeling to experience, but what if I told you that there are 3 key mistakes you're making every payday that are quietly sabotaging your financial goals? Hi, my name is Priscilla. I'm a former accountant and CPA, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 worst post-payday mistakes, how you can fix them right now, and I'll show you the tools to better organize your finances for long-term success. So the first mistake is not establishing the proper foundation. I want you to think of it this way. Whenever you see a structure being built, the construction crew always starts by laying the foundation. Any reliable structure is built from the bottom up and not from the top down. And the same thing can kind of be applied to your finances, where, for most people, saving is an afterthought. Saving comes after spending on your wants, on, fun things and vacations and things like that. But I challenge you to flip the script and put saving as one of the first priorities in your payday routine. Saving is the foundation of financial success. There is absolutely no way to be financially successful if you are not saving. If you aren't saving money, you're essentially putting yourself in a very insecure financial position because something might happen unexpectedly and you won't be able to cover that bill. You might unexpectedly lose your job, or you might have large medical expenses that you weren't anticipating. We know that life is very unpredictable, and I'm sure you've gone through things that you never expected to go through, and I have too. You can put yourself in the best position to handle unexpected financial situations by creating an emergency fund. There are many ways to set up an emergency fund, but one of the easiest ways to do it is to just set up automatic transfers from either your employer's payroll system like ADP to a high yield savings account, or directly from your checking account to your high yield savings account every time you get paid. That way you never even have the opportunity to touch the money and get excited about things that you could use it for, but it's already stashed away to use in the future when the need arises. If you need ideas for the best high yield savings accounts to consider, make sure you check the link in the description box below, or I'll leave the link to the video that I did on the best banks offering high yield savings accounts. The second mistake is operating in the dark, and this is really similar to going to the grocery store without a list. I know every single time that I've done this, I end up buying things that I don't need, forgetting to buy things that I actually need, and also just spending a bunch of extra money on things that I never anticipated on buying in the first place. And the same thing happens when you approach your finances without a plan. You will end up spending money on things that really aren't important, and then you might be unable to cover your large, important expenses. Probably heard someone say that they spent their rent money on like brunch and drinks, or maybe you have been the one to say that, but there's no judgment here. The good news is that this problem is really, really easy to fix if you simply budget. I think many people tend to shy away from budgeting because they think that it's difficult or overly restrictive, but I'll tell you why both of these thoughts are wrong. First, budgeting does not have to be complicated or overly difficult. In fact, it's better to make your budget simple so that you can actually stick to it and it can be effective in its purpose. Some people like to use budgeting apps. I personally am a spreadsheet girly, and I use Google Sheets to make my monthly budgets. I personally love to do zero-based monthly budgets because that's the method that helped me to save $10,000 in 6 months. If you're not familiar, zero-based budgeting is where you assign every dollar of income that hits your bank account with a job, which could either be like going towards savings, debt repayment, your wants, your needs, etc. The spreadsheet I use is called the Wealth Blueprint, and I actually have an entire video where I go over showing how I use this spreadsheet to organize my finances every month, and I'll leave that linked somewhere up here and also in the description box below. Secondly, I don't want you to think of budgeting as restrictive, and here's why. Think about going into the gym without any type of workout plan. So because you have no plan, every cardio machine is available, every weightlifting machine is available for you to use, and you're just gonna figure it out as you go along. Maybe too, that sounds like super appealing, but if you have specific fitness goals in mind, that's actually not very helpful, because it's better to walk into the gym knowing which part of your body you want to work, what you want to do, how many sets and reps, etc., so that you can stay focused and actually achieve your goal. So having that workout plan and that workout split is actually not restrictive, but it gives you the freedom to craft the results that you want to get. The same exact thing applies for your money. Sure, you don't have to have a financial plan at all. You can just totally wing it and just do whatever you want. That is an option for everybody. But if you have specific goals that you're trying to reach, it's more helpful to have a plan set out that you can follow and stick to. That way you can see the results that you want to have. All a budget does is give you a personalized spending plan. That way you'll be able to spend less on the things that you don't really care about, and instead put that money toward things that do actually matter to you. With a budget, overall, you will be able to feel more in control of your financial decisions. And one last point on this is that a budget is a living document. It's great to create a budget at the start of every month, but that's not enough. You actually have to assess your spending habits weekly so that you can ensure that you are on track to meet your goals, or you know if you need to make adjustments. The third mistake you should avoid every single payday is having the blinders on. And what I mean by this is that in today's society, we're very much focused on the here and now and what's happening today. And I do think that social media and probably also our innate desire for instant gratification and results play a huge role into this. But if you only focus on what's happening today, then you are ignoring one of the most important parts of financial well-being, which is the future. In your 20s and your 30s, retirement can seem like very far off into the future, but I promise you that retirement is something that you actually want to start thinking about at age 18, because the earlier you start thinking about and prioritizing and setting up a structure so that you have money in your old age, the better off you will be. But I don't want you to feel bad if you have not already started saving for retirement, because I promise you, you are not alone. The average age for a first-time investor is 33 years old. So you can start investing today. The easiest way to do this is to contribute a portion of your money from every single paycheck to your investment accounts. Now, for most people, the lowest hanging fruit is their employer-sponsored investment account, like a 401k or a 403b. If you contribute to one of these employer-sponsored accounts, then the money will be taken off of your paycheck pre-tax, which reduces your taxable income in the current year. These accounts are great because many times employers offer a contribution match, which is essentially free money. So you want to make sure that you're contributing at least the minimum to your employer-sponsored account so that you can get that match. Do not miss out on that free match, because you're essentially leaving money on the table if you do not do it. In addition to your employer-sponsored accounts, you can also open up an IRA, which is an individual retirement account. And unlike your employer-sponsored accounts, an IRA is an account that you can open up on your own at popular brokerages like Fidelity, Vanguard, Schwab, etc. I personally really love Roth IRAs because you contribute post-tax income, but in the future, if you set it up correctly and you're consistent with investing, you have the opportunity to potentially become a tax-free millionaire. But many people end up making a huge mistake when setting up their Roth IRAs that cost them thousands of dollars. So make sure you click the video on the screen right now for a step-by-step tutorial on how to properly set up your Roth IRA so that you do not miss out on future gains.